Welcome everybody back to the channel. Today I got a good little treat for you all. I'm going to take y'all on a tour of my fish cave, my man cave, the place where I hang the majority of the time when I'm at home. It's a place where I do my mods. I do a lot of my videos from, but I've never really like taking you all on a tour with me and kind of show you what all I got in here, and where I store my stuff up, why I store it there, and what do I, just give you the whole 9 yards pretty much. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get on in this video. I don't want to hold y'all up too long. Excuse some of my stuff in here. It's clean for the most part, but this is an active garage with the house, so it's not spick and span, strictly fish and stuff, everything. I'm gonna take you all on this little tour. Let's get to it. Okay, let's keep this pretty simple. The first thing I want to show you all, I want to show y'all all my wall where I keep my tackle, the majority of the tackle that I use the majority of the time. I got it on a pegboard. If you can look around, you know what I'm saying, I have it kind of situated to where I got my crankbaits on one side, my Strike King, to my couple of Guggen lures. I'm not really a fan of Guggen, but I do got a couple of them, to, my Rapalas, to my Bill Lewis's, to my other older things, down to my Berkeley, the ones that I use the majority of the time. But yeah, I have all of my crankbaits right here, pretty much. Right here, I got a little section right here for my spinner baits and everything else. So I kind of keep them in that little general area somewhere close to it. Right below it are more of my jig type of lures, anywhere from the tungsten rubber Kachek rubber jig, to my Randy Blockett old school jig, to my dirty jig tackles, to my swim jigs, to other kind of swim jigs, my Terminators. I got a couple of miscellaneous stuff like right here. In the next section over, I keep my bladed jigs, from my jackhammers. This is a stealth blade. This is a regular jackhammer. To my Strike King Thunder Crickets. To my Chatterbait Minimax. A couple of other brand names that I would catch on, certain websites, like Zigzag right here, Slobber Knockers. I'm not sure exactly why I got these two right here separate, because they're the same thing. But yeah, there's another mini max. To the new Chatterbait Elite Evos right here. Okay, you come over to this section, I have a little bit of my top water lures, things from walking baits right here. This is my Drift Walker 110, to the actual cane walker right here. I need to use this one because I haven't used it yet. Right here, I got my speed my Speed Rocket 110s, all the way down to my Berkeley Chopos 105. Right here, I got a 90 Whopper Plopper. That's a River to Sea. Right here, I have just a popular, routine popper. I got another Yoziri popper. That's a BD Baits popper. Right here to the 13 Fishing popper. I think it's Poppin' Miss Pop. What is it called? Poppin' Me Pop. Crazy name, whatever. To my Storm right here. If you get down here, I don't get to use these often because there's not a lot of water around here where I can really use it. But these are more of my top water frogs. From my Z-Man, which is my favorite frog, is the Z-Man Leapfrog, to a couple of the Scum Frogs, to my KVD's Popping Perch, down to, a couple other things. I think this is a Prototype Lures right here, down to my 13 Fishing Trash Pandas, to my 6 Cents Vega Frogs right here, to my Live Target Sunfish. I kind of like those right there. But yeah, here's a preview of my pegboard. So let's get on to the next one. Okay, as we come right here, I kind of keep my table right here, but when I need to, I can take that table and fold it up, get it out of the way, and I'm able to pull my car in here if I need to. But we're going to come on over here to my table. Okay, for you ones that have watched some of my mod videos and stuff like that, this is the table where I do a lot of my mods at. I sit down, I've got a couple videos. I'll put some of them down in the description of me doing some actual work on this table. But I just got my GoPro stuff right here. Up here I got my line at the top. Um, you know, Up in those little cages I got a bunch of loose stuff. I charge my batteries right here. I got my GoPro. Uh, I think they call it media mod or whatever right here. Um, but yeah, this is my table where I normally sit down and do my mods. I got a little chair right here. Well, actually, it's an old chair that I've been meaning to get rid of, but I still got it hanging around. Okay, now we're going to turn the attention to over here. Now, right here is where I keep my motor. Right here is where I keep my motor. You may not see it a lot in my videos or whatever, but I keep my 55-pound thrust trolling motor right here, and I also store my Honda 2.3 outboard right here. So this is my little station down at the bottom. I keep my batteries. This is where I store my batteries. I also charge them down here. So I keep them down here 24/7 when I'm not on the water fishing. Over here to the side right here, if I can get you a good angle, right here is where I store my netted. I just kind of took a eye bolt, put it in the bottom down here, and put some PVC pipe down there, and just kind of make me a little loop where I can just drop it in there and then sit like that. But that's where I keep that at. I keep my Honda oil for my outboard there. I didn't know what I was doing the last time I ordered. I ordered the container too big. I also have right here in between everything. This is where I normally spool my reels up right here. So yeah, so that's what I use that for. Okay, so I want to take you over to my next spot. Right here is where I keep my crate that I have my camera and everything mounted to, with my GoPro for my rear camera. This is my crate. I keep stuff that I'm going to use on the water. Like, I try to get better at deciding exactly what I'm going to use and try to minimize what I got on the boat. That's still a work in progress. I think that's one of the hardest things that a fisherman can do, has to achieve, is learning how to just minimize the amount of tackle that he or she takes on the water. Right here, I got my 2 bags that I take with me most of the time. I've kind of slimmed it down to one, to where I got one that keeps like a little bit of an overflow, but I normally typically now I take one, just one right here with me on the water. Right here I have my fire extinguisher that I have on the boat with me just in case. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I keep everything right here. On top I have my anchor down below right there. You can't see it probably. But yeah, this is where I store everything. And like I said earlier, this is where I store my boat. I normally keep it on one side. I kind of use the line going down the center of the garage, and I store my boat right there. Typically, my life jackets, I got them thrown on the boat because I wanted y'all to be able to see them real good. But typically, I keep my life jackets on the handle of my trolling motor. So I just got them thrown in here. But yeah. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you all is actually how I store most of my reels and rods. Um, right here on the garage door, I have 3 of these Cobra rod holders. Um, I'll leave a link down in the description if you ever want to order some of these, but they're attached to the garage door, and you're able to keep 6 rods on each one. So right here, I got 18 rods and reels. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. I don't actually have enough room for all of my rods and reels. I got some of them stacked over there. I have some of them stacked over there in the corner, right there on the other side of that shop back or whatever. But yeah, this is typically um, where I store my rods. Down here on this one, I usually keep my spinning reels for the most part. Up here, I keep more of my bait caster combos and stuff. But yeah, this is how I store it. You know, when I open up the garage, it goes up above anything, and it kind of stays out of the way. I am thinking about adding an extra one to it. I've been thinking about maybe adding it. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna try to do it. I just don't know if I'm gonna do it. I've been trying to figure out, could I slide this one over and make it more like this, but it's kind of, I don't really have a lot of room on the edges over here. But yeah, this is how I store my rods. If you notice this big old Tupperware or whatever you want to call it, that's where I keep all of my other extra fishing stuff. It is a mess up in there, so I don't even want to go through all that. But it's everything from my different like crappy lures and all kind of different tackle that I don't really keep or use that much, but I keep it in there. So that's where that's at. So that's my little messy area right there, and I'm gonna thin that out a whole lot better than I got it now. So yeah, and right here I kind of keep my little scale right here. Let's see what I'm working with. Let's see what the damage is today. Uh well, I am holding this thing in my hand, so um I think I'm around maybe 197, 198. So got to lose some more weight or whatever. But yeah, this is my hangout spot. When I'm at home or whatever, hey, I turn the TV on. I I sit here and I get myself comfortable. I watch games out here. I brainstorm what I want to do for the day. You know, I brainstorm what I want to do for as far as like fishing the following day or the next day or whatever. And I get my thoughts together. This is my little peace spot. And I love this time of the year. It's just about, well, it's actually fall now, but it's getting to that time of the year where I really like to sit out here. I don't really get to sit out here that much in the summertime because it's hot. So even though I got fans, I don't like the sounds of them. So it's getting to that time of the season where I spend a whole lot of time up in here. But that's just a quick tour of my little man cave, where I store my fishing equipment and everything else. And just spend most of my time when I'm at home and I'm not, either doing the lawn or uh, fixing something in the house or at work. You know what I'm saying? This is where I spend my time to myself, you know what I'm saying? Get away from it all. But that's gonna be it for today. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all for tuning in, sticking with me. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll holler at y'all on the next one.